What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 114 of The Road to Glory, here with FC United of Manchester. If you missed the last episode, it was a 53-minute long live com. Yeah, you should check it out. A lot of effort went into it. Today, I've got a game against Chelsea, and can I just say that since the last episode, which obviously ended on a high, if you've not paused the video and switched now, you might want to pause and switch. But we beat Chelsea 4-1 last episode. We dominated them. Payrard turned up. He's a man for big matches. He turned up. He got a hat-trick. Got man of the match. I mean, one of his main strengths is his important matches. And it came big for us there. The 4-1 win against Chelsea. And since then, the momentum that we have had has been absolutely ridiculous. You can see here, 6 games, and in total, a hell of a lot of goals. We kicked things off with the FA Cup third round replay against Burnley. You guys saw that before. We drew 0-0. I decided, you know what, I'm going to play the strongest 11. I played them. You can see here, we dominated. We won 2-0 in the end. Nazarov and Lee Wright getting the crucial goals for us. Alfredo Senior did get injured, however, he's not out for too long, and so it was fortunate. He's just a little bit unfit now, but Good stuff. On the back of this, we then got a 5-0 win against Leicester. Bottom of the league in the Premier League, Leicester. Good team performance, 5 different goal scorers. 3 of them being defenders as well was great. Again, which we dominated. Nazarov picking up man of the match. This guy, with Barbosa leaving at the end of last episode, Gauthier got promoted to club captain. He's a great leader for the team. And then Nazarov has stepped up to become vice. And Nazarov, since he's become vice, he's been superb. I mean, this year an average rating of 7.23 tells you a lot about him as a player. But in all honesty, he's been absolutely superb for us. So that was another great win. 5-0 against Leicester. And then on the back of this, I didn't think it could get any better. It did get better. FA Cup, 4th round. Got drawn against Burton. Not the easiest tie ever, but we turned up. 2 players getting hat-tricks. 9-1 it finished. Payrard getting 3. João Jose getting a 12-minute hat-trick within the first 17 minutes. Probably one of the fastest hat-tricks in the FA Cup history. 40 shots, I mean, it tells you all you need to know. We dominated the game. Burton Albion on this save. They're a League One club, and we kind of showed superiority over them this game. So 9-1, and I wasn't thinking it could get any better, but it did get better. 6-1 against Reading. Payrard getting 4 goals. This month, he got Player of the Month, Payrard. He got 10 goals in 4 games in the league, I believe that was, which is just unheard of. This was a month where, on the back of some iffy results last episode in the live com, you know, there was a few games which we probably should have won, or at least had a better shout in. We needed to perform, and we've performed. You know, all these wins, Payrard with another 2 and a 3-0 win away against Aston Villa, and then we finished things up with a 2-0 win against Everton with João Jose grabbing 2. And this was a month where we had to perform. You know, we'd had those 2 losses against Liverpool and Arsenal. It wasn't looking great. But you're probably wondering, Jack, why are you so pumped about this? Now, the reason I'm so pumped about this is because Chelsea, our main rivals, have had one of the worst runs that they could have had. I mean, literally, we are talking here 3 defeats on the spin. They had some tough fixtures, but losing 3-0 to Liverpool and against United, drawing against Arsenal and losing against Derby County, as far as I'm concerned, that's amazing. And you're probably wondering, well, where does this leave the league tie going into today's game against Chelsea? Well, it leaves us in an insane position. We're a game in hand against Chelsea. If they win the game today, they will draw equal on points with us but still be behind on goal difference, and we will have a game in hand. If we win today, we will still have a game in hand, and we will be 6 points clear at the top of the Premier League, with a lot of the chasing pack having played more games than us. So this is huge. I mean, if we win today's game, I don't want to say we will have won the league, because there is still 12 games left, but it would be ours to lose for certain. But going into this game, obviously goals for have been insane this year. We're averaging more than 2 goals a game. In fact, we're almost averaging 3 goals a game, which tells you a lot. Plus 48 goal difference. We go into the game against Chelsea having beaten them 4-1 just over a month ago. We have Enrique and Pereira both back. These 2 guys, Enrique, we've missed him a lot. He was injured, obviously, for 3 months. And so was Pereira. So we lost both our first choice centre mids, which was a big hit. And you can see these guys they've suffered as a result of missing, 3 or 4 months. But they're back in the team now. They're playing really nicely, and hopefully we can just give a performance to be proud of here. If we win against Chelsea, we should have the title, and that would be an early time to say it, but unless we did something terrible like United did 2 seasons ago, we should have it. So we are at home against Chelsea. I'm just going to encourage our lads. Team's up performing in form. Payrard has hit some of the best form he's ever had at the club. Our whole team is turning up and performing. Average ratings have been absolutely insane for us. And we go into today's game knowing that, as I've said, a win would see us pull away. It's going to be tough. Chelsea are no pushovers by any means. And it's going to be a tricky tie to say the least, but I have faith. I do have faith. And I'm going to look like a pillock if we now lose. So I'm hoping we can give a performance here. Get on to that. Good block. Get it out, my son. That will do. Bit of a nervy start, but in all honesty, we're playing so well. Top confidence. We've won so many games in a row now, and I'm hoping that we can just maintain a performance here against in a big game. But we're looking very solid here. Balls up to Payrard. Fred through whoever's around you, Payrard. Just Fred them. I'll do that. He loves playing against Chelsea. He loves it. I'm lost for words. World Player of the Year at the age of, I think, 19 years and 8 months. Oh, he's unreal. He's unreal. It's not only his stats. Like, I've seen players with his stats before, but the difference between Payrod and players I've seen is he performs to those stats. People don't know this, but consistency, the stat consistency, a player's stats that you see, he can only ever perform to that standard, and the higher a player's consistency, the more likely he is to play to his stats. And the thing with Payrod is, he has the occasional off game when I have to sub him off, but in these big games, because of his important matches being one of his big strengths, he just turns up, and I'm hoping that we can get another goal here. Obviously we're 1-0 up, and we're just giving them a goal. Oh dear. Brian Hernandez with the goal for them. Kind of our own fault, really. We passed it back to them. We now need to keep our heads on. A draw would be a good result here. A draw would keep us our breathing space. Ideally, I'd love to win this, and we've got a chance here. Senior, Payrard. Oh, he's given offside. He's given offside. I always look up there. I remember in one of the really early episodes of Road to Glory where I forgot to check the linesman, and I went off celebrating. Came back, and I didn't realise that there'd been a goal disallowed, so I was confused why we'd drawn and not win, and I always check it now just in case. So I don't like to get my spirits up. I'm going to make some changes though. 71 minutes in. João José's not turned up today. Pereira is struggling in the centre of midfield because of his lack of fitness. So I'm going to bring on Rico Francis to hopefully make amends for that. I'm going to switch Payrod to centre defensive mid and also bring on Bastian Hubner, the German guy. Using all my free subs with 20 minutes left of the game. Taking a little bit of a risk, but this is a game I'd love to try and win. And, freshening the legs up front, dropping Payrod into his more natural centre attacking mid position. Just going to see how it works out for us. Looks like there is going to be a very, very late chance here. 3 minutes left on the clock. Chelsea get a goal here. Tanguy. What are you doing, Tanguy? For fuck's sake, Tanguy, you muppet. I swear I always get players sent off in these big games. Always happens. You know what? We'll just switch to a flat back four at the back and see how we get on here. I'm going to play full back support. Players kind of struggling for fitness, but I had to take a risk today against Chelsea. A little bit disappointed to see Tanguy get sent off, but we're able to reshape fairly nicely. I'm just hoping now that they don't score this set piece, and looks like we are going to deal with it. In fact, I think the last time I went a man down at this kind of stage in a game, we went up the other end and scored against Man City. Now, I'm not going to say it's going to happen again, but you never know. It's not going to happen if Rico Francis does shots like that, that's for certain. 1-1. There's probably a chance in this now. There's probably a chance. I was about to say I'd be happy with 1-1. They're going to score now. They've scored. Oh, Football Manager. Why you do this? Why? Disallow a goal for offside, get a player sent off, and concede. A heartbreak here. Wow. I'm kind of just slumped in my chair now. Oh dear. I'm far from pleased, lads. What was that? That result. I mean, we're not in a bad position, but we could have not put the league beyond doubt, but we could have put ourselves in a great position. Chelsea have played an extra game, so that does play into our hands. The only team on 26 games played around us are Man City, who are a little way off the pace. They're 5 points behind us. We've now got to concentrate on winning our match in hand. That's the big thing for us now. Looking forward to our fixtures. We've got the FA Cup 5th round. I'm not going to be live coming that. But what we do have is the Barcelona game. So what I'm going to probably do is do both Barcelona games next episode and kind of skip through the bit in between. Obviously, Barcelona is not the easiest draw in the world. But hopefully we can get something out of it. I'm just going to give you guys actually a quick recap of the transfers before this episode ends. So these are the transfer dealings that were done this year. Looking at what we did towards the end of the transfer window that you kind of saw in the live com or didn't if you missed it. We sold out Augusto Monslavo for $5 million to Boca Juniors. The reason for me selling him is because I have a player who I'm bringing in who's as good as him now, who's 17. Where is he? If I go to Transfer Centre, his name's Felix. I don't know. Zuccolini. We'll go with that. That sounds great. What a name. Got there eventually, sounding it out like a 2-year-old Jack. Well played, son. But if I compare these two guys, Zuccolini is a better player and he's 17. I'm bringing him in for 7.5 million, which isn't cheap. But my thinking behind it if I've got this guy coming in, Monslavo isn't really going to have a place. He's just turned 18, actually, I should point out. So he's coming in the next window because he couldn't move over until he reached his 18th birthday. But he's a nice little signing, and that's why Monslavo's gone out. The other players to go out during this window, we got Barbosa out to AS Roma for 21 million. Sad to see him go, really, because he did offer us a lot during our first few leagues in the Premier League. He got important goals for us. In reality, though, he never really peaked. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but we have plenty of strikers in my squad, and the way I looked at it is he's a great player, but I have players of an equal ability or more. He's a fringe player. I could sell him on. There were clubs interested. Get him out while I could. Get him out while he's hot. So that's what I did. 21 million to Roma. Pleased I'm not selling him to a rival, so that's a nice little one. And then the last little bit of dealing in terms of transfers going out was Vladimir Silkin, who's gone to CSKA Moscow for 7-point-something million. Interesting deal, this one. He came on loan to us a number of times during his development at Spartak Moscow. His contract then expired at Spartak Moscow, and I brought him in as a kind of outsider player, just a player to have on the bench, really, and back up. Luke Shaw. And then he ended up going out for 6.75 million, which, as far as I'm concerned, that's a great little bit of business to get him out for that kind of fee. One bad kind of thing that's come as a result of this is the fact that Luke Shaw is currently injured, and his injury is strained knee ligament, so he's out for a little while. But yeah, it's not a bad deal at the end of the day, and it was nice to recoup some money because financially we're in an iffy and kind of a predicament. I mean, I say this, we're minus 32 million, but the way I'd like to look at it is the fact that our estimated club value is 617 million now, and that's without us owning our stadium, which Berry owns. So in reality, that's kind of just players are worth 617 million. That's what makes up our value, and so I'm pretty happy that our club's worth that much, and that if our financial status was to really get in a bit of a predicament, there's players that I could offload who would certainly offset kind of the financial kind of situation I guess we find ourselves in. I mean, you look at our squad, payroll's worth 41 million, which is just ridiculous. Tanguy Horn, Enrique Gauffier, there's a good few players here above the value of 20 million who, one or two of them, maybe I could afford to let go if what times get bad. But alas, I think we're okay at the moment. Just a quick look at the league table. We're in a good position still. Obviously, Barcelona is going to be next episode. Not the easiest game in the world, but one that I hope we can win. I think that wraps things up for today, guys. So if you've enjoyed the video, please give the video a like rating. Lets me know that you're enjoying the videos. Thank you for your comments on the last episode of The Road to Glory. I asked you guys, when have you been watching the series since, and what episode have you watched? And a lot of people have watched from the beginning, which is absolutely an awesome feeling. I can't thank you guys enough for that. And then some of you have come halfway through, and I thank you for your guys' support. It was nice to see those comments as well, because sometimes I get a little bit bogged down. not demoralising, but when you get kind of 50 likes, say, and 2 comments, I'd rather have comments telling me, you know, oh, I'm enjoying this, or why didn't you do this, or just talking a bit more about the FM rather than a like. But it was still an awesome response, and it was really humbling, guys. Also, thank you for your support on my channel. I hit 3,500 subscribers yesterday, and I uploaded my 250th video 2 days ago without realising, and it's kind of a landmark which I forgot about, so I guess we'll just hold out for 300 videos and do something then. But anyway, I just want to say thank you so much, guys. Your support's unbelievably appreciated. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. It was a bit of a passionate one, bit of a FM. I'm sure you guys can relate to FM screwing you over and getting a player sent off and losing 2-1 on the night. But no, that is today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. It is me, Jack, and I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.